Hey there, Mercedes Diesel Guy here. I'm actually, as I said in my last video, not doing any work on the cars this weekend. There's Hurricane Irene coming through, and obviously it's rainy and wet out there. We're not supposed to get the worst of it until tomorrow, but, the rain alone keeps me from doing any work. So I wanted to do a quick video and actually talk to you about some of the products I use. Specifically this time about the rust coating paints. There are 3 I've used in my time, and I've been doing this kind of work on cars for the better part of the past decade. And there's a lot of products out there. The 3 I've had experience with are Pour 15, Eastwood's Rust Encapsulator, and Miracle Paint, which I think is made by a company called Bill Hirsch, but I buy it through Mercedes Source, and when I get it, it's branded as a Mercedes Source product. So, as I said, I think the company's Bill Hirsch, but you can get it through Mercedes Source. The Pour 15 is the first product I ever tried, and I actually had very poor results from it. You're going to find a lot of people online that swear by it, and it probably does work if you use it properly. The big difference with Pour 15 is that it's a 3-part process. You need to clean up, and then and I'm working from memory here because I haven't used this stuff in years, but then there's some sort of a prep solution you have to spray on the metal, and I think keep it wet for about 20 minutes, and then I think there's or maybe it's first the cleaner, then the prep solution, and then the Pour 15 paint. Either way, it's a 3-part process, but you have to follow the process to the letter, and you can't allow any contamination, and I think that's where I had a problem with it. Because over time it failed on me, it flaked, it peeled, the rust came back, and although it did slow things down, it wasn't the forever long-term solution that people told me it was going to be. So if you're going to try that product, you can't leave any room for error at all, and it might work for you. I didn't have a good experience, but I'm seeing so many good things written online about it that I'm not going to say that that's all wrong. I mean, most likely it was an error in the way I used it. So the next product I tried is a 1-part product called Rust Encapsulator by a company called Eastwood, and you can find them online. Basically, with the Rust Encapsulator, you remove all the loose, scaly rust, clean up the metal, and I give it a good wash down, make sure there's no grease or anything on it. Then you spray on the Rust Encapsulator and let it dry and go from there. And I've had very good results from it. It's actually a much thinner product than either the Miracle Paint, which I haven't talked about yet, or the Pour 15. It's available. The Rust Encapsulator is available as a spray-on or a brush-on product. I have used both, and they both seem to work equally well. I mean, that being said, it's more sandable than either of those other 2 products, but it's also thinner, and I think it would be more susceptible in a case of impact or scratching. So. But even then, I've used the Rust Encapsulator, and I've had it hold up for years and do a really good job preventing the return of rust. So I do wholeheartedly recommend that one. It's not all that expensive, good product. And Rust Encapsulator actually is a product I would, it's out of the 3, it's the one I would recommend if you had to, for example, encapsulate over some surface rust on a visible area of a car's bodywork. And the reason I would recommend this product over the others is because it's thinner, it would be more sandable and certainly, more workable once you have it, until you're ready to, throw the primer and the paint over it. So that would be my recommendation there. And the third product I'm going to talk about is Miracle Paint. So I've used the Miracle Paint, used it once before a couple of years ago, didn't have great results, but I think that was actually, once again, just poor prep work on my part. So I tried it again recently on some of the rust on my Vanagon, and the Miracle Paint really does dry rock hard. I wouldn't as much recommend it though for for large areas of visible bodywork, to cover up surface rust, for example, a hood or a door or a fender, because it's so rock hard, and it would be harder to work it smooth in terms of what you would want to go under, primer and a final paint job. So, but for an area for a non-visible area, for example, your car's floorboards, I imagine Miracle Paint would be an ideal product to use. So all three of these products definitely have have their own strengths and weaknesses. There's really no one perfect solution to rust. I mean, people will say, yeah, the perfect solution is to get new panels and weld them in, and yeah, that's in theory that is the perfect solution. However, if you're going to expose the car to oxygen and the elements, then eventually, sometime down the road, you're going to have rust again. I mean, it doesn't matter if you get the car perfect again. So long as you're exposing it to the environment, the car will rust again. So you kind of have to deal with that. So that's all I have to say on that right now. Any questions, feel free to post a comment or send me a question. I'd be happy to tell you more about my experience with any of those products. So everybody have a good day, and if I don't know if I can get any good footage of the hurricane coming through here, I will try to get video of that, so long as it doesn't put me in any danger. So but no promises at this point. Everybody stay safe, and hopefully I'll have more actual video of work on my cars to show you next week. Thanks.